Hey guys, it's lovely to have your company back here on the Crafter's Companion YouTube channel. Fancy meeting you here on this, well, whatever it is, whether it's morning, afternoon, night time, depending, whatever it is, daytime, wherever you are. Now, what I want to do once again is to say thank you very much for those that still continue to subscribe, those that still continue to hit that bell notification, and for those that still give me the thumbs up once you've seen these and you like them. And if you do comment, it really is appreciated. I do see them all. I get an email notification for every single one that comes through, so that is how I see them, as well as actually going in to my actual app. So thank you very much. Now, when it comes to this tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to do a really nice, slick, stripped back, sophisticated Christmas card. Now, this is using something that was really only available stateside, maybe the odd one or two that snuck through maybe like last year, a year before, here in the UK, and that was our large Christmas sentiment dies. Now, these ones were big dies, 5" by 3", give or take for some of them. You had Merry Christmas, From Our Home to Yours, Season's Greetings, Happy Holidays, and then there was also 'Tis the Season as well. So these ones here were the part of the big Christmas sentiment range, a good couple of years ago. And this is one predominantly you guys stateside that have been asking to see things done, because it was only really focused on for you guys stateside. There really wasn't any tutorials or anything like that done, and never really been featured in any kind of demos and that were live at the time on Crafters TV. So I thought let's do one. Now, I do have one already done because I made this a couple of weeks ago for me to give to a loved one at Christmas time, and really quite pleased with how it turned out. So therefore, we are going to make it. And we're also going to be using our alcohol effect papers, because I think they work so well when it comes to our Christmas cards, as well as your all occasion. So you can see within that one there, what we're going to do is we are going to be using the Happy Holidays. We're going to be using white, we're going to be using black, and I just need to get some gold satin, and then we can then get started. So let me delve into my box and get some gold satin cardstock. And when it comes to the actual holly leaves, we're going to go to our holly and ivy collection. So we're going to use that one for the holly and the berries, and then I've just got some green and red cardstock. Also going to be using the oval dies as well. So let's start off A5 card. Now, I am going to just give that a little bit of a trim. So I'm going to trim it down to 8 inches. And then, because it's a little bit of an awkward shape, A5. So what I've done is I've trimmed that down to 5 3/4 by 8 inches. And then let's go in with our black card to start with. And I want quite a nice, sizable matte layer. So that's 5 3/4. So I'm going to come down 5 1/4. And because it's 8 inches, I'm going to come down to 7 1/2. And then I've got a really nice chunky white frame all the way around. So this one, let's come down just under the size of there. So it's just a slither smaller. So that gives me a really thin matte layer. So that will be, there we go, pretty much spot on. So that is a couple of millimeters under 7 1/2 and a couple of millimeters under 5 1/4. That gives me the perfect matte layer. And then let's go into our cardstock. So let's take this one here, Now do you know what I'm going to do? Because my finished one that I'd already done is red background, I can get a hold of it here. Because I've gone for the red background, let's use the green. Let's do that. Let's use the green. So let's come down to, I'm going to try about 6 inches. So I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm going to do 6 inches by, I'm just doing a rough guess at the moment. So I'm going to go, not 6, let's do 5. And then I'm just going to measure it up to my original because I can't remember what I'd done, so I need to come down a bit more. So 4.5 by 6.5. Let's just see. Yep, that's perfect. So that was 6.5 by 4.5. So let me pop these little bits back in because I don't need this pad anymore. So I always just keep all my loose bits inside. Let's move that one out of the way. And then this one, we're also going to give a black matten layer. But just a very fine black matten layer. So that was 4.5, so we're going just a few mils over 4.5 and a few mils over 6.5, and just about there. Do a little slither, just going to straighten that up, and I am there. So that can then go into place. That's going to go onto the base of our card. And then let's go in with our oval dies. So I won't need my guillotine now, don't think so anyway. So let's take my oval dies. Now I want to say it was the fourth and fifth one in. I think it's these two. Let me check with that outline one. Yeah, actually, can't make out if it's that one or not. I think it's that one plus the next size up. Let's get a hold of it. Yes, that's it. So it's the third and the fourth one from the outer edge. So you got your largest one, second large, and then we're using the third and the fourth. So I can pop that in there. So the smallest one's going to be white, the largest one is going to be black. So let's save ourselves a bit of cardstock. So let's do that. So that can go in the white, that can then go in the black here. So let me bring in my junior plates, and because these are simple dies, I'm going to take out my magnetic shim, and then what I'm then going to do is if I then, let's go to the right camera angle, run that one through. We're going to run that one through. That's going to of course die cut the black oval, and taking that one out, and then we can go in with our white layer, and then we can go in with the second smallest oval. We can cut that one out, and that's going to cut out perfectly for us. So as that comes out, I'm just going to get my oval dies ready so I can just pop them away. Let's take that one out, and then before we start to carry on with the rest of the card, let's do the mats and the layers. Let's stick them all together. So let's take our tape. You're going to use, of course, your choice of adhesive. If we just go all the way around the edge. Now the base is going to go on flat. You can raise it on foam pad strips if you want, but I'm going to keep this flat because the layer that has the oval, that's going to go on foam pads, and so is the Happy Holidays. That's going to go on foam pads as well. So because I've got my cardstock, it makes it just a little bit more flimsy, even although it's a heavyweight cardstock. It's just because it's lost some of its rigidity. So instead of taking the backs off the whole lot of the double-sided tape, tissue tape, I'm just doing the edges and then pull them out. What I'll do is I shall link the double-sided tape in the description of this video. Let me just neaten that up slightly. There we go. And that one as well. Like so. Let's fix a little slither here. Going to then. That's that one done. And let's layer this one together just here. So I've been wanting to do this for a few days now. If you're watching this kind of in real time, i.e. round about the time that I have uploaded this video, it's just been a manic few weeks, certainly since birthday. Trying to catch up with myself, get ahead with upcoming shows as well, trying to really think ahead when it comes to the Christmas holidays. What do I need to have done for when I come back after the Christmas holidays? So yeah, it's been a bit manic. So I thought, right, tonight I'm going to sit down. As I'm currently filming this, I am a celebrity. Get Me Out of Here is on, but I always record it anyway on the Sky Plus. So I thought, right, nope, I'm a celeb, can wait. I'm going to be doing a tutorial. So we shall catch up with that after. That now, of course, you're not going to see the centre. So let's give that a really good burnish. Let's do our insert while we're here. Inserts, for anyone that's new to my tutorials, you can either do your loose leaf inserts. I do a matte and layer insert. I of course keep them blank just now until I know who I'm going to give it to, but I'll still do my matte and layer. Now for me personally, I always say, and this is just my opinion, when it comes to the colour of the matte and layer, whatever the darkest colour you've used for your layers on the front, that's going to be your layer on the inside. So my matte and layer on the inside is going to be black because my darkest colour that I've used here is black. And as I say, that's just what I do. You know, you can do it green, you can do it gold, you can do it whatever way that you want. That's just my personal opinion. So we're going to go down I think it was a ½ inch. Can't even remember now. So 5 3/4. Yep, so we're coming down 1/4 inch. So that was 8. So that's 7 3/4. So that's going to be perfect for the inside. So that was 5. Gosh, I can't even remember, and I've only just done it. So that was 5 1/4. And we're going to go 7 1/2. Like so. Perfect. There we go. So that's my insert done. And then once I know who in my family I'm going to be giving it to, I can then pop the coordinated insert to match their age range. Because it's a nice sophisticated card, I really wouldn't be giving it to any of the kiddies in my family. So either I would be giving it to grown up family member or friend, or just giving it to a family as a whole. So let's take these off here. So we're just going to take them off. So that one, and then that one. So yeah, I will link what I can in the description. Now of course these sentiment dies are no longer available, so they won't be in the description, but when it comes to the card, the alcohol effect distressed card, as well as your dies from the mistletoe collection or holly and ivy collection, I shall add them. So if I now just press, I'm just going to give that a really nice press in, and then we can, let's go in with this layer. So this layer we're going to keep flat, so let's pop that off and that off here. I'm going to pop that on into place, press that in. We're going to come along with this one here. So let me just grab some. So what I'm wanting is this layer I want to be quite thin, because this layer in the oval layer, let's do the oval as well, I want to be quite thin. So therefore I'm just going to put them on like 2mm foam pad strips. So let's add our tape on here. Actually, do you know what? I'm sure I've got actual foam pads that are 2mm. We shall have a look in a little minute. So let's line that up. If you ever struggle lining up ovals, then I would recommend something like a wet glue to make it a little bit easier for you. There we go. So that's going to go there, that's going to go there. So let me just see. Yes, 2mm. Let me just take a few of them. Let's just open them all up, because I shall need them anyway. If anyone is wanting the code for these, although I shall add them on the description, it is S57137, and these ones are 19mm by 38mm, and they are 2mm in depth. But as I say, I shall add them into the description. So both of these are going to go on foam pads. So let's add them in like so. That, and then we're going to go in with this one. Now of course round the edges there of the white we could do a little bit of distressing, we could bring in our pearl powders maybe, so we can really have a lot of fun with additional colour. We could emboss that with an embossing folder if you want to, stencil through it, all of that you can still be doing. But of course I'm going to keep this as close to the original. And I'm going to pop that into place here. There we go. Right, let's take this out of the way. and move that. So let's press that in. Let's bring in the die. Now for this one, we are going to do a triple, yes, triple drop shadow. So we are going to do white, black, and then we're going to do the gold satin. So we're going to go gold satin on the top. We're then going to do the red. We're then going to do the white and then the black. So that's satin gold, white and black. So we need to die cut these ones 3 times. So I'm going to go back to the full plate configuration. So let's set that one on there. And we're going to run that one through. The chances are it may cut without the magnetic shim, but because there's a little bit of detail in here, I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to cut it out as a whole. So there we go. Happy holidays. So let's bring that one out. Actually, do you know what? Let's change it, because my original says happy holidays. So let's just change it. Let's go. Let's go traditional. Let's go Merry Christmas. So that one I've already cut in black. I'll be able to use another time. Oh, I've got 2 Merry Christmas. How managed did I get that? So let's cut that again in the black. And then we're going to run that one through. Actually, because I've got 2, I could have cut down on time, couldn't I? I could have used my large plates and cut it out twice. Never mind. What I love is I love looking at the waist as well. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. Is that, oh, look at that. It's just gonna fit and no more. So let's take a low-tack tape, stencil tape, and tape that down. And then we're going to run that one through, and then the last one to do will be the white. So as that one then comes out, let's take that one out. And this is just a masking tape that Stix2 do. So I shall link those in. Let me, so I don't forget, let's do 2 mil foam pads and stencil tape. And so I don't forget that foam pad, so I can get straight to the link for you on the website, S57137. Right. And then last but by no means least, let's go in with the white. So do you know what? Let's try it. Let's try this one without the magnetic shim and see how it goes. If it doesn't work and it only leaves a light indent or a slight cut, then really easy. What we can then just do, run it through again, but with the magnetic shim. So yeah, it's not quite cut there. So it's still in play. So let's run it through again. I won't put you in view because let's bring in a little bit of white. Now I would probably use a repositionable spray, only because there's tiny little bits So I don't want to rip them up as I'm trying to blend around. For the sake of this live, let's just do it anyway. So let's take a blending brush and let's use let's stick with the, actually no, I was about to say let's stick with the green. Let's not. Let's go in with a red. Let's go in with the Chinese red. So always look at your waist. See the waist, look at the waist. See, this is why ideally you want to then use a repositionable spray to tack it down so these little bits don't move. So let's ink through here. You can use your blending tool, of course. And again, just hold that down so it's not moving. Inking up that colour. So this is Chinese red water reactive. Let's add that in, and then what you could do if it was like nice and neat and straight, what you can then do is just add that around. Or we've got the black. I mean, that really does look really quite fab actually. Or then we've got the gold, which you've got the same. So look at the waist and how you can use that to create something like a mat under a layer. I've got a scrap bit of mount board. I've spritzed and sprayed a little bit of water from our mister spray just to clean it. Let's do that again just so you can see what I've done there. Light spray, and then just get rid of that excess. There we go. That'll do. And then that's my brush, nice and clean, ready for a brand new colour. So let's start. So let's do our gold onto the white. So let me bring in my glue. So gold first. Now also for this one you could be using a permanent spray, adhesive spray. You could be using your double-sided adhesive sheets. You could also then be using your dotty tape runner. All of that's going to work a treat. Dotty tape runner, do be careful though, because you've got lots of little fine intricate bits. So treat it the same way I treated that bit of card I was stenciling through. So as you're pulling and manoeuvring the dotty tape runner over the back of your sentiment, just kind of anchor it down with your finger so it doesn't pull, the tape runner doesn't pull at your sentiment and rip and tear. So let's add a little bit of glue. But for those that watch on a regular basis, know that my preferred adhesive when it comes to intricate bits is the tacky glue. So let's roughly get it into place. So let's just manoeuvre that in. Manoeuvre, 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 so that we've got a very light white drop shadow. So we're just moving it, and obviously that is the benefit of having your tacky glue. You're able to do that. You're able to maneuver it so that you've got your drop shadow. So if I've got another bit of black just to show you, so you'll see the white just popping round the edges. Let me just make it a little bit more visible. There we go. So let's just press that down. So drop shadow gold onto the white, and then we do exactly the same. We drop shadow that onto the black. So we just repeat that step. Just going round with our tacky glue. Now that it's got two layers, that makes it a little bit more robust, but I would still be just a little bit cautious using your dotty tape runner. Still take care and anchor it down with your finger. So let's work our way around near in the end. Once we get to the end, we're just going to do exactly the same. That tacky glue from Stix2, I shall pop that in the description as well. So let's start to maneuver that. So I kind of roughly get it in place to start with. I'm not bothered about it being accurate. I just get it roughly in place, and then I start to slide it into its exact position. So at this point then we will have, we've got a bit of white card. Let's just bring in that little bit of mount board again, so you can see the black. You can just see a little bit of the white, and then you can see that black drop shadow, which is what we want. Perfecto. So then what we're going to do is let's turn that over. There's my foam pads. So if I take my foam pads, I'm going to get my foam pad strips. So if I can find them somewhere. There we go. Love these strips. I'll use them a lot. I love to use them when it comes to my shakers as well. Let me pop that. Strips, yeah. I will pop that in the description too. So that's where you've got your two different, like, so you've got 11 strips of total. So you've got your 5mm by 2mm by 138mm. So you've got 11 of them, and then 15 strips of 3mm by 2mm by 138mm. So let's use the really, really fine one. So it really is fine. And then we're going to take our small snippy scissors, and just wherever possible, what we can do is we can then just work that up and down to make it easier for ourselves. Now if you don't happen to have the foam pad strips, you can just be using the small foam pads and just chop them up, or big foam pads and chop them up. So let's do all the straight lines. So I'm only going to do the vertical. Doesn't really need to worry about the horizontal, because there's enough vertical strips here to hold it all into place. Things like the little curves at the bottom as well, I'm not necessarily going to be doing them. because if you've got that curve, that flow, it's nice just to have that nice movement. And then that bit's lost its bit of sticky there. So let's take our next one and then work our way along, so it doesn't take long at all. So let's do a little bit there, let's do a little bit there, and then I'm going to do a little bit there, and then a little bit there. And then I think that'll kind of do. Let's just have a little play about and pop some in little gaps that we've got. May as well fill it up. What I had to start with would have been more than adequate. And you've got that one, and then let's do that one too. There we go. So we've got all of these now. So let's take them off. And that's why I absolutely love Stix2 range, because everything is so easy to come off. Let's prise them. I could be using my pokey tool, of course, just to pick them off, but I still find it really quite therapeutic just peeling the back ends off. Now you can keep it flat if you like the look of the card, but you don't necessarily want to put the bulk of the card, then keep it flat. Or you can put tiny little bits of glue gel or silicone, depending on what you use. Of course I use silicone because that's what Stix2 have. So let's peel into the corners, getting a hold, work our way along till we get to the end. So we've got quite a nice stable sentiment, because that's got a layer of gold card, a layer of black card, and a layer of white card. So let's come in. I'm just going to lightly press it to start with, so I can see. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. And that's fine. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take that foam pad off because it's just hanging over the edge. So I'm going to take that. Let's press that in, and then what I'm going to do there is, just because it's just doing nothing, so it doesn't get caught on the envelope or wherever it's sitting, I'm just going to tape that down or glue that down. Let's press that down. So we've now got Merry Christmas with the 3-drop shadows, and then let's bring in the die set and a bit of green. Got some green, got some red. Let's bring in the dies. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the solid die. I'm going to use the berry, but I'm also going to use the outline of the berry. So let's bring in my mini. Now, if you have your Gemini Go plates, then of course you can be using your Gemini Go plates with your G2. But let's just place that down. And let's do them both at the same time. Now I'm just doing tone on tone here. You could do different shades of red if you want to, but I do like the red on red because it still gives you a bit of a shadow, because one is higher up than the other. So the berries, that one there, I'm just going to have to do another once, and then the holly I will need to do another 3 times in total. There's that one, and that one. So let's cut that one on and flip that around. You've got the little detail, kind of the veins of the holly leaves, which I've not used, but you could use that. That'll give it a nice little look as well. Or die cut them separately in a bit of darker green and then just stick them on. Also would look quite smart. So I need that one can go away in a moment. I just need another bit of green to cut 2 more hollies. And you could layer 2 bits of green card on top of each other and cut them both together, but you know I don't do that. I prefer a nice crisp cut, because if you layer 2 pieces of card together and die cut at once, top layer is going to be lovely and precise, whereas the bottom layer it's going to be a little bit rough. You're not going to have a nice perfect cut. I would always recommend doing them separately. So let's take those and let's just pop them back so I don't lose them. Including my stamps. So I was going with my glue here actually to make it easier for myself. Instead of putting glue on the back of those tiny little bits, let's just put the glue round the edge of them, and then let's stick that together and press that together. Let's do the same within this one here. Let's work our way around like so. Just makes it a little bit easier than putting it on the back of the little die cut. And then what I'm going to do is just down the centre, I'm just going to pinch, pinch, and then pinch again. And then let's do the same, just pinch in there. And then let's have a look. So that can go, actually I'm going to overlay, so let me take my foam pads. So that's going to go there, so let me put a foam pad there and a foam pad there. So I'm going to tuck that just underneath the curve there. And I'm going to do the same within this one here. There and then there. So if I peel that one off and then that one, tuck that one there, and then we can bring in the berries, and I'm going to do the same again. Let's pop that on a foam pad. This is just a good old traditional 5mm by 5mm foam pad. You know, I'm still a big fan of them. I still believe they have a place, although you can cut down your larger foam pads, I still believe that they have a place being your original 5mm by 5mm. So this one, let's come back a little bit because it's off the layer here, so I need to kind of counterbalance. And then let's pop that one there, and then do the same. Let's come back a little bit further. And then that can overlay there, and then bring in our foam pad, back of the berries. Now you could use your glitter glues, you could use your glitters, of course, all of those you could start to use. And then there we go, let's just pinch them up while they're in place. So there we go. So what was my original one, Happy Holidays, with one of the red sheets of the alcohol effect. Background papers, we've gone for the green this time, and then we followed the exact same flow of the Happy Holiday one, but what I've just done is I've changed it. So we've used the green, and then we've used the Merry Christmas instead. So we've got that one. So if I then come in and just show you close up, you can see how that looks. So that was the original one I done, and then that one there is the one that we've just created. There we go, and that was, of course, 8 by 5 3/4. 8 by 5 3/4. Rightio, that is it for another tutorial. I hope you enjoyed that one. If you do, of course, make whatever you see here, whether you might adapt it, you might change it, whatever it is, and you pop it on social, please do feel free to, of course, tag me. If I just pop there, so that's my Instagram, you can see it just there at Craiglairdcc. I'm also going to then just pop my Facebook over the top, so you've got my Facebook, Craiglairdcc. Of course, you already follow me here on YouTube, hence while you're watching, and then if you are across on TikTok, it's Craiglairdcc as well. Rightio, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, if you do make anything, then do, of course, feel free to tag me across on any socials. That'll be lovely to see. Right, until next time, we'll see you again. Toodles.